A tiny island nation smaller than New York City with no natural resources, no oil, no vast farmlands, and a population of just over 5 million. Yet, this little dot on the map is one of the richest countries in the world. Its GDP per capita rivals the US, and it's a global hub for finance, trade, and innovation. How did Singapore, against all odds, become an economic powerhouse? In the 1960s, it was a struggling, newly independent nation with muddy streets and fishing villages. Its founding prime minister breaks down in tears on live television, uncertain about the country's survival. Fast forward to today, the same doomed nation has the third highest GDP per capita in the world, higher than the United States, higher than Germany, higher than Japan. Singapore transformed from a third world backwater into a gleaming first world metropolis in just 50 years. But here's what's truly shocking. They did it without a single drop of oil, without vast mineral wealth, and without a large population. So what's their secret? How did Singapore pull off the greatest economic miracle of the modern era? Singapore's story begins with one man's radical vision. When Kuan became prime minister in 1959, Singapore was a mess. Race riots plagued the streets, unemployment hit 14%, most people lived in slums without running water. But Lee saw something others missed: Singapore's location at the crossroads of Asia. "We had one asset," Lee later wrote, "our strategic position at the tip of the Malay Peninsula. But location alone doesn't create miracles. Plenty of well-positioned cities remain poor. The magic happened when Singapore's leaders made a series of counterintuitive decisions that defied conventional wisdom. First, they chose pragmatism over ideology. While other developing nations were choosing between capitalism and socialism, Singapore chose results. They welcomed multinational corporations while maintaining strong government control. They embraced free markets while heavily investing in public housing. This wasn't textbook economics. It was whatever worked. Take their approach to foreign investment. In the 1960s, most developing countries viewed foreign companies with suspicion. Singapore rolled out the red carpet. They offered tax incentives, streamlined bureaucracy, and even built industrial parks specifically for foreign manufacturers. Here's where Singapore's genius becomes clear. Every apparent weakness became a strength through careful strategy. No natural resources? Perfect. This forced them to develop human capital. While oil-rich nations grew lazy on easy money, Singapore invested everything in education and skills training. They created the world's most efficient education system, consistently ranking first in international math and science tests. Tiny size? Ideal for rapid transformation. Try implementing new policies across a continent-sized country. It takes decades. In Singapore, a good idea on Monday becomes national policy by Friday. When they decided to become a financial hub, they could pivot the entire economy in just a few years. Diverse population? A gold mine for global business. With Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Western communities, Singapore naturally became a bridge between different cultures and markets. Companies setting up Asian headquarters found Singapore the perfect place to access multiple markets simultaneously. But the real masterstroke was water. Singapore has almost no freshwater resources, seemingly a crippling disadvantage. Instead of accepting dependence on Malaysia for water, they turned scarcity into innovation. Today, Singapore is a world leader in water technology, exporting desalination and water recycling systems globally. Their new water program recycles wastewater so effectively that it's cleaner than most countries' tap water. Their strategy was brilliantly simple. Use early foreign investment to build infrastructure and expertise. Then use that imported infrastructure to attract better investments. Use those better investments to develop more sophisticated capabilities. Rinse, repeat. In the 1960s, they started with basic manufacturing, textiles, electronics assembly, and simple goods. By the 1980s, they'd moved to high-tech manufacturing and petrochemicals. By the 2000s, they were a global financial center and biotech hub. Each phase built the foundation for the next. Consider Jurong Island, Singapore's petrochemical complex. In the 1960s, it was just mudflats. The government spent billions reclaiming land and building basic infrastructure. ExxonMobil arrived first, then Shell, then DuPont. Each company's presence made it easier to attract the next. Today, Jurong Island hosts over 100 companies and generates $75 billion annually, more than many entire countries. Singapore's infrastructure is jaw-dropping. Its port handles over 130,000 vessels a year, making it the world's busiest by shipping tonnage. Changi Airport, consistently voted the best globally. The port uses AI and automation to move cargo lightning fast, slashing costs and attracting trade. Changi isn't just an airport, it's a logistics hub connecting Singapore to over 380 cities. And then there's housing. Over 80% of Singaporeans live in affordable, government-built HDB flats linked to efficient public transportation. Perhaps Singapore's greatest achievement is transforming its people from economic liability to economic asset. In 1965, most Singaporeans had minimal education. Today, Singapore has one of the world's most skilled workforces. Their secret? Continuous upgrading. Singapore doesn't just educate young people, they constantly retrain their entire workforce. The Skills Future program gives every citizen credits to spend on continuing education throughout their careers. Whether you're 25 or 55, the government will help you learn new skills. As Singapore grew wealthier, it faced a new challenge: staying ahead. Low-cost manufacturing was moving to cheaper countries like China and Vietnam. Singapore needed to climb the value chain or face decline. Their response? Become Asia's innovation hub. Singapore now spends 2.2% of its GDP on research and development, more than most developed countries. They've created innovation districts, funded thousands of startups, and attracted major corporate research centers. The results are impressive. Singapore now ranks 8th globally in the Global Innovation Index. Companies like Google, Facebook, and Tesla have major research operations there. Singapore's success cannot be understood by examining individual sectors in isolation. It's the integration and synergy between different elements that creates the multiplier effect. The port serves as perhaps the best example of this integrated approach. Singapore's port is now the world's second busiest by total shipping tonnage and the busiest transshipment hub, handling 20% of global container transshipment. The port's success stems not just from its strategic location, but from the ecosystem built around it. World-class logistics companies, sophisticated financing services, maritime insurance, and ship repair facilities have all clustered around the port, creating a comprehensive maritime services hub. Singapore faces new challenges: an aging population, rising inequality, and competition from other Asian cities threaten future growth. But if history is any guide, Singapore will adapt and thrive. They're already preparing for the next transformation. Massive investments in artificial intelligence, clean energy, and biotechnology position Singapore for the industries of tomorrow. Their Smart Nation initiative aims to use technology to solve urban challenges and create new economic opportunities. In just 60 years, Singapore transformed from a colonial backwater to a global powerhouse. Their secret? They understood that in the modern economy, success doesn't come from what you have. It comes from what you do with what you have. And that's a lesson we can all apply to our own lives and careers. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.